better watch out if your enemy's a road ahead of full prophecy to be the greatest beast the world has ever seen. I feed him every day like the bones clean. I feed him all the hate and he grows me. And he gets caught real big, pissed off quick. And if you cross him, you might drop dead. Metaphorically, of course, settling the score, never getting bored. Lots of blood and gore. Always wanting more, freedom from the source. They don't really understand until they feel it. Force the party. And if you start shit, you be heartless in the darkness. Torn apart quick, you let scars rip. You be chewed up and discarded. And this world ain't right, won't accept it. Negative energy, I expect it. Once it's in your mind, it's infectious. So fight for your life and reject it. You better give me.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Not a whole lot to celebrate. I kind of used it as a day of mourning, almost, being that Donald Trump signed the big, beautiful bill.
I was
on Independence Day. That
I was definitely a sourpuss.
Yeah, that's why I took some time off this week, so I do apologize about that. And I realized on July 4th, I was live July 4th, and I was saying some wild shit. So that's why I didn't do anything yesterday. I was like, I need a day or so to process all of this before I come out swinging and say something I may or may not regret.
It's getting hard to regulate ourselves. And I'll speak for both of us at this moment, is that like we're so involved in reading all this, like almost everyone that we know watches us regularly is in tune to everything going on minute by minute as we are.
Right.
So you'll all understand. It's hard to regulate when it's just like worse. There's no like reprieve anymore. There's nothing. Right. The only positive I get is that ICE is being pushed out of states by communities, but now they're funded more than the Russian military. So that's not going to end well for us.
Yep, ICE has a budget. They're all going to get fat $40,000 bonuses too for being kidnappers and human traffickers, for putting people in basically large dog kennels at Alligator Alcatraz. And can we for a second talk about how sick and disgusting MAGA is? They are literally going to, they put a sign up out front of it, and these psychotic, deranged people are going there with their families and taking pictures in front of it.
There was one they put their son in front of it.
Yes.
Like, okay, smile. They're taking a picture. Like
they're buying t-shirts for a concentration camp. And even, okay, we'll go with their argument. Even if it is just a detention center, why are you buying, sir? I'm trying to monitor myself.
That was good.
Right? Why are you buying t-shirts for essentially a prison?
Even Hitler tried to hide the death camps and didn't sell merch.
Right. Like, who in their right mind buys this stuff? That is truly crazy. I have a video on TikTok right now where I said, let me catch you in the streets with some Alligator Alcatraz merch. That video got 320,000 views now. All MAGA just trying to, Alligator Alcatraz. Like, y'all are just really showing your true colors. That's all you're doing. You're just proving our point.
It's twisted.
Right. You need help. And they want to say every time we come out with like a fact about their Fuhrer, their dear God, their orange God, they want to come back and say, like, we have Trump derangement syndrome. Like, bro, I've seen y'all wear gold diapers. I've seen you wear shirts that say real men wear diapers. I've seen you wear bandages on your ear when Trump got shot. And
now I got to load that picture that I was going to say for.
You know what I'm saying? You guys walked around with JD Vance semen specimen cups.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And we are the deranged ones. You are so out of touch with reality. And I'm honestly flabbergasted at how brainwashed this part of our society is. They do not look anything up. They get it from Twitter or Facebook, which I've realized recently is worse than Twitter, because Twitter's where all the propaganda starts, where it originates. By the time it gets to Facebook, it's like my aunt heard it from somebody else's friend at work. And it's like one of those scenarios. You know what I mean?
My cousin went to
Facebook,
school.
it is.
Who was a summer intern, and they stayed with my aunt. They heard it.
Right, exactly. They heard it from somebody that they know has connections, or they do the whole, I did my own research.
Really, it's just an AI
sure
meme.
You did.
It's just an AI meme that they're like, oh, look, there's a cat that definitely has a shotgun. See what they're breeding in schools?
They made, there's an account on TikTok, or at least a video of an AI woman, beautiful AI woman, obviously AI. Okay, MAGA, supposedly a MAGA supporter, Trump supporter, and she was praising men and Trump and all this stuff. And the comments are all Trumpers, like, "Oh, we love you. Oh, you're so great." Like, we're all like, "Bro, that's not real. That's not a real person." So we're dealing with a part of society that can't even differentiate what is an AI video as opposed to, like, they probably watched those videos where it's like Bigfoot and the abominable snowman, and they're like, "Oh my god, they're real." They can't tell the difference.
No, they can't.
Again, we're the ones supposedly out of touch with reality. I think after the beginning of this episode, because the first half of this episode, we want to talk about their response to the storm in Texas. Oh my God. And yes, they're trying to blame it on Joe Biden. Of course, it's been 6 months. At what point are you guys going to shut the fuck up?
Wait, there was one point. Oh, you screwed it up already. There was one point where someone in Texas was like, people were like, "Well, you know, what are you doing? What's going on here?" You know, and they were like, "Well, this is really being blown out of proportion by media reports and people exaggerating." Right. And then it was like, update: 8 more people died in the floods. Like,
right.
The
and
people
then
that run Texas do not give a shit about Texans. You need to understand that.
No, and then Hot Wheels, the guy running the whole show. Sorry, at this point, I did it. That's fine. Okay, he's. I mean, Jesus Christ. This guy, he wants you to send your prayers. Again, thoughts and prayers are the solution for everything bad that happens. And of course, they say God answered their prayers when they found some people, but apparently God didn't hear the rest of the prayers, or you didn't pray hard enough because the rest of the people died or are still missing.
Oh, wait, should I call up what our glorious leader of the Congress said? And like, this is real. He also, I mean, he said it in an interview. Mike Johnson on the Texas floods. In a moment like this, we feel just as helpless as everyone else does. All we know to do at this moment is pray.
Yeah, we know you don't know how to legislate.
How about this? You could hire scientists and you could listen to scientists.
Right.
How about this, Mike Johnson? You could redo your decision to cut NOAA, which, you know, is the organization that helps find, track, and disseminate information about storms everywhere in the United States. You could turn back on those satellites that you just turned off for the weather agency.
Yeah, that
so that the National Weather Agency would serve a purpose, and that information could be used by, I don't know, NOAA to find out when an entire state is going to flood. How about that?
Yeah, I forgot about that. They recently did stop sharing satellite information with the National Weather Service.
How about that?
And they don't want to take blame for it. They want to push blame on other people. All right, so the second half of the show, though, we got to talk. We got to talk because Mike and I are sick of seeing obvious, I think anyway, very obvious Hitler salutes. This time coming from Donald Trump himself. I have a clip. I'll play it for you. I slowed it down. And you can tell me if I'm reading too much into it, or if we need to just call it what it is.
My favorite part about this one is we both agree in principle 99%.
Right.
So we're going to coin flip this one, but it'll be fun for everyone else to give us their opinion on.
Right. But we also have the video of JD Vance on the receiving end of a Nazi salute. We have that video.
No one seems to want to recognize.
Right. I don't know. We've tried to make this video go viral. I don't even know how many times. I think it's probably the 6th or 7th time we showed it on the show. But then we also have, of course, Elon Musk's "I'm throwing my heart out to you" bullshit, or a Roman salute, as MAGA tried to justify. But at this point, we got the president of the United States throwing out a very, very suspicious hand gesture on the White House lawn. If you watch the original video, I have the audio off of it, but if you watch the original video, he does it twice. Once, it looks like he's just throwing out a kiss. The second time, though, it looks a little more intentional.
That is your argument for the Trump video. That's interesting.
Right. And I think he did it because the first time that he threw out the kiss, they cheered. The second time he threw it out, they cheered louder. Okay. So I think we
weren't cheering for his kisses.
I think we're this close to the military changing their actual salute to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the sky's the limit with these people, but they're coming dangerously close to just admitting they are Nazis. And I wish people would call them that. And again, we're not calling them that because they do Nazi stuff, which they do. We're calling them that because that's what
They
this
embrace it.
entire movement is
Look,
modeled after.
You know, you make an excellent point. I don't care what they say about themselves, but we need to make sure we persist with the truth that it isn't recently that MAGA has embraced their own identity as Nazis, because back in 2016 and again in 2020, 2024, the elections, what was all the merch you saw at Trump's rallies? MAGA, MAGA, Nazi, 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 MAGA, Nazi, Nazi, MAGA. It was just MAGA stuff and Nazi stuff, actual Nazi stuff.
Yeah.
They're selling it to their own people. Someone's buying it. It's not me. It's not Jeremy.
They got vendors selling white privilege cards on military bases, people. That's real. That actually happened. I forget what base it was on. Was it Fort Bragg? I can't remember. But anyway, let's get into tonight's show. All right. So first, let's talk about the response to the storm. Marjorie Taylor Greene had a fantastic one. And then also we'll talk about Candace Taylor making headlines for her comment. And the funniest thing, y'all, is happening on Twitter. And me and James are going to talk about it on the Derp State tomorrow. The right is now convinced that Grok, they're arguing with Grok. I'm serious. They're arguing with an artificial intelligence on Twitter. No human intelligence, obviously, but they're arguing with Grok on Twitter. And the funny part is they don't like Grok's responses because AIs typically, they verify it through various different sources. And it never agrees with them. Now they think Grok is left-leaning.
Because it's fact-checking them.
Right. The guy who owns Grok literally did a Nazi salute on stage. And now y'all, the mental gymnastics is Olympic level gold. I'm telling you, Grok is left-leaning. Okay, the owner is an actual Nazi. How is that even possible?
Maybe the AI is outgrowing its stupid dad.
I'm hoping that's what happens with AI. They realize that there are some people in this world worth saving, and then there's all the wrong people in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Grok or AI grows some kind of moral compass and just saves some of us. But anyway, this is Marjorie Taylor Greene's response. And yes, this is off of her actual Twitter feed. I shit you not. She bill that prohibits the injection, release, or dispersion of chemicals or substances into the atmosphere for express purpose of altering the weather, temperature, climate, or sunlight intensity. It will be a felony offense. I have been researching weather modification and working with the Legislative Council for months. This is so hard to read. I'm laughing. We must end the dangerous and deadly practice of weather modification and geoengineering.
Yet again, Marjorie Taylor Greene specifically, but America's Nazi Party is writing and passing bills that serve no purpose. Remember when they banned chemtrails in some state?
Yes.
Chemtrails don't exist. That's literally not a thing.
No, they think every time a plane goes by and they see that white trail, they're like, oh my God, chemtrails.
I hate to break it to you. It's called steam.
The stupidity is the next level, man.
Sky, cold, hot engine.
Let's not forget, we have to remind everybody, because we laughed about it before the show. This is a woman who held a hearing using taxpayer funds on black market baby organ sales. I shit you not. I could dig the video up. It's somewhere in this database of insanity of mine. But that's the kind of people we're dealing with. Okay, so let's move on to Candace Taylor. Candace Taylor posted fake weather, fake hurricanes, fake flooding, fake. So then, of course, the readers added context, which is the only thing that is actually decent about Twitter, saying that obviously she's an idiot. Then she reposts her tweet referencing a Substack article as definitive proof that the weather is fake. Like, all right. So it took me a minute to realize, of course, my response was like, yeah, did you really just use a Substack article?
She did.
This woman is, let me show you her website real quick.
I saw it on a Reddit subreddit. Oh,
I know, right? Right. This is her website. Look at the red part here. It says Jesus, guns, babies.
She puts guns above babies, obviously. That's freaking amazing.
I've
That's
seen
amazing.
yard signs with that shit, but she is a candidate in Georgia.
She put guns.
Georgia,
above
y'all
babies.
need to get your shit together.
I-
But she is also a flat earther. She thinks globes are conspiracies. All right, so let me show you this video. I had to really look for this one, and the quality's not the best. But
I
she
apologize
thinks,
to everyone out there that is sane.
right?
This isn't
She's
going to
actually-
sit well with you. It's just not.
No, she thinks, I swear to God, globes are a conspiracy. Not just the earth, but just globes.
I am a Christian. I love Jesus. I am a woman. I'm created perfect in the image of God. And I know who I am. I'm firm in that. I've never said the earth was flat. I've never said
Yes, you
that I was
did.
a flat earther. Never, ever, ever have I said that. I did not say that globes were fake. I never said that. What I said was that NASA taking billions of dollars every month of our taxpayer money
Not every
and
month. That's
funding
not real.
something that we do not see any progression in. If the earth is a globe, which we've always believed the earth is a globe, and we believe that, why do we see globes on all the TV shows, on all the movies, and all the stores? Why are there globes everywhere? Why? Because it's propaganda. Propaganda.
What does that mean? What? How are globes propaganda? And you said you're not a flat earther, and then just started talking flat earth shit. And she did say some flat earth stuff on Twitter. That was her response video to the backlash. But this is somebody that may get elected next time. I mean, Jesus Christ, they reelected Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Boebert. So
Her and Marjorie Taylor Greene go to the same knitting circle on weekends.
I'm telling you.
And you know what they knit,
rally.
right? Little beer koozies with swastikas on them.
Yeah, hoods.
Oh, for the winter
Right.
marches when you need something a little warmer.
Right. All right, so let's talk about the flood, because that was we had to do that. That was funny, Jesus. All right, so I have a time lapse video we can play while we talk, but this is how fast the flood came in. So at 5:15, it really started, and you can see on the top left how fast that shit rolls in.
That is not a lot of time. There was one
And you
video
can see
of
when
the
you start
flood going through
evacuate.
someone's backyard. They're just pushing the whole pool over.
Yeah.
Yo, that is
So in a matter of like 25, 35 minutes, that entire basin there got completely flooded. And if you get caught in waters that deep and that fast, you don't stand a chance. You're not going to swim.
So
You know what I mean, that's not even an option.
Let's go over what would normally happen in this scenario. Texas would go, shit, this is beyond our capability. Let's rely on our national response that we all pay into and is there to help us, because that's what a country is supposed to do, help itself through the federal government. Let's call FEMA and have them send whatever equipment we don't have to pay to maintain, which would overtax our budget, but which could be used with people trained to maintain even more than ours to go into these special emergencies. How about let's do, oh wait, there is no FEMA anymore.
Right. They forgot about that part.
But
they gutted the National Weather Service. They gutted it. That was Doge. Thank Elon.
Thanks, bud. I'm sure he's going to have AI-driven flood deterrent robots patrolling places soon with Tesla logos on them.
Yeah, probably. All right, so let me play these videos. I'll go through these real quick. But the first one, just so we bring receipts, okay? So in case they try to blame it on Biden, which is what they're trying to do, this is Kristi Noem just recently saying that FEMA just needs to go away.
But we all know from the past that FEMA has failed thousands, if not millions of people. And President Trump does not want to see that continue into the future. So this agency fundamentally needs to go away as it exists. And we need.
So it needs to go away because according to them, with no data, it's failed millions of people, which isn't a real number because FEMA goes in when they're asked to and does what they can to save people when other circumstances would lead to more tragedy. So yet again, these people running our government are defining these agencies as something that's run like a business instead of something that's run to help people. Not everything needs to be for profit, and you can't blame things when they don't work the way they should because your people continuously underfund them and now delete them.
But we have an administration that is anti-science. I mean, Donald Trump thinks he knows everything. That's the problem. He also told scientists to their face that he thinks science is wrong. What? They believe in something. Exactly. I was going to pull this up. This is a perfect example of what we're dealing with. Donald Trump wanted this hurricane to be worse than what the actual scientists were saying it was going to be. So he took a freaking Sharpie and drew an extra little testicle on the end of that thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that is the level of idiocracy we are in right now.
But our dear leader did respond via tweet because and I'd like to go over a few things that he said. I'm going to read the tweet. Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, good luck.
I just signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County, Texas, to ensure that our brave first responders immediately have the resources they need. These families are enduring an unimaginable tragedy with many lives lost and many still missing. The Trump administration continues to work closely with state and local leaders. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem was on the ground yesterday with Governor Greg Hot Wheels Abbott, who is working hard to help the people of his great state. Our incredible U.S. Coast Guard, together with state first responders, have saved more than 850 lives. God bless, sucking ass, whatever. Now, number one, why was the director of Homeland Security there, Kristi Noem? Well, we know she loves a photo op, so that's why. Two, because usually the FEMA director does that, and they got rid of FEMA. Now, when he says that he's going to make sure that local state responders have what they need, what does he mean by that? Because he got rid of FEMA, which job was to provide aid to states in need. So if you don't have FEMA, you're not sending people, you're not sending equipment, you're not sending scientists. Are you sending money? Because if you're saying you're working with the states and their first responders, what are you doing? What are you working? What are you doing for them? Because you literally just got rid of FEMA and you don't want to fund science that will stop this. So what are you doing? Is it that easy for MAGA to just go, he said words are true.
Words,
dear leader, words. Is that it? Is that where we're at?
Right. It feels like it though. You know what I mean? But not only have they gutted FEMA, they gutted NOAA, they gutted the National Weather Service. I wouldn't even have a problem with this government efficiency shit if they went in and put new processes and procedures into place that were actually more efficient. But all they're doing, this entire administration, is about tearing the entire country apart, not putting it back together.
Well, I could tell you from firsthand experience, working in corporations my whole life, big and small, there is something that happens when you are a pure capitalist. The word efficiency does not mean efficiency. Efficiency means to someone whose actual job is to find a way to efficiently manufacture things. That's literally my job. You want to go for you're always going to have an underlying cost. You want to minimize the cost for the best outcome. The best outcome should be the service or the goods you provide to your customers.
Yeah.
What cutting or increasing efficiency almost always means is cutting as many people as possible, abusing with overwork the few people left, and then yelling when your profit isn't what you expected it to be.
Right.
That's not efficiency. That's capitalism.
Right. But government agencies are not supposed to be profitable.
They're not.
You know what I mean? They're not
in the
businesses.
Corporate sense. They're efficient by the services they provide. The mail, for example, the post office is one of the most efficient before that asshole was put in place, and Biden for some reason didn't get rid of him. But The post office is one of the best run things. The idea that we can move hundreds of millions of pieces of mail every day to where they get to go. And a couple of people go, they lost my letter to my grandma. Okay, 1 in a trillion pieces of mail that month. Suck it up.
Very true. Very true.
But if it was more efficient, you know what they would do? We'd be like, we're not sending mail. Just to give us money.
Right, they actually want to privatize the mail system. So hopefully in the future,
and our
we don't have
healthcare.
to,
How efficient do you think that'll be? Look at our weather service to know how efficient everything will be when we get.
When they say you're right. So when they say efficient in a capitalistic society, they just mean they want to make more money. So they're going to cut as many things as they possibly can, so they make more money. It's all about money. Again, it just all goes back to the almighty dollar. But anyway, we want to know why. Well, why was the head of FEMA fired? Well, the head of FEMA said to the Trump administration, and this is serious, he says, I don't think you should get rid of FEMA. And they fucking fired the guy. That's crazy. We could drop a couple F-bombs. It's okay. Right. I had to let one go out.
Could you explain why the FEMA administrator was removed from his position this week?
So this is a personnel matter in regards to the Department of Homeland Security, but my understanding is that this individual testified saying something that was contrary to what the president believes and the goals of this administration in regards to FEMA policy. And so, of course, we want to make sure.
Yeah, he said, "Don't get rid of FEMA." That was
wait. Listen to the words she said. Let me translate. The head of FEMA didn't agree with his entire agency that saves lives being cut, and since he didn't align with the administration's policies, like Project 2025 wants everyone in the government to do, we're going to fire him.
Right, because that was Project 2025's plan. They
just said. We're going to fire him because he doesn't do what Donald Trump says he should do. He doesn't toe the party line, and he doesn't agree that his own administration should be cut.
You know, it's crazy. Those of us that have read Project 2025, and I've not read all of it because I don't have that kind of attention span, and it's horrifying.
Read a lot.
But we actually knew all this was coming because it says it all in there. We're going to cut this. We're going to cut this. We're going to move more power up. We want to make more money for these people. It's literally all in there. But seeing it play out in real time is honestly a lot more horrifying than I was expecting. So I can't even, like, we probably do sound crazy to some people. Like if you went up to somebody in the street and was like, "Oh my God, Donald Trump did like a Hitler salute," they'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? But they don't want, which I get. I used to be that guy. If you talked about politics, I'd be like, I'll be outside. You know what I mean? I avoided politics, but this shit is real. And this is truly one of the most insane times. It's got to be one of the most insane times in human history.
It's up there.
It's definitely the craziest in American history.
We're in the dumbest time that we've ever been in.
Let's say that. We're in the dumbest timeline in human history right now. We are being run by morons who have failed their way upwards. A bunch of Nepo babies that have never earned anything in the day in their lives. Yep. Most of them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get back to, I'm getting off topic. Let's go back to Texas. This is, they're now blaming the National Weather Service. And I like this video because it has all the different articles from over the last few months talking about how cutting FEMA, or not cutting FEMA, but messing with NOAA and National Weather Service, all that stuff is going to affect people and cost lives. So, but they're blaming the National Weather Service and not Trump. They're putting, here we go. Donald Trump gutted it, or Doge gutted it at Donald Trump's directive, at the directive for Project 2025. And now they're blaming them for this not warning people in time, even though they just, like we said, they shut off satellite information.
They don't even have their heads screwed on their ass right. Like they're just so dumb.
This is crazy. And it gets scarier because guess what? Mike and I have realized today that we are most likely on some sort of list now because Palantir is watching your social media. They are going to use AI, probably the most powerful and advanced AI we've ever seen, one of them at least.
Now we know about
and they are going to watch every single post, every single like, every single comment.
They're creating databases on American citizens for loyalty tests
right now. And this is not a joke. This is
like,
not a joke.
I've watched a lot of Twilight Zone growing up. There's like 8 episodes about that. Go watch some classic science fiction. This is all detailed in it.
Right. It's crazy. But all right, let me play this video real quick.
Original forecast that we received on Wednesday from the National Weather Service predicted 3 to 6 inches of rain in the Concho Valley and 4 to 8 inches of rain in the Hill Country. We worked with our own meteorologists to fine-tune that weather statement, and as many of you know, and many of you in broadcast journalism and meteorology, you can go back and look at your own forecast, and the amount of rain that fell in this specific location was never in any of those forecasts.
This rain event sat on top of that and dumped more rain than what was forecasted on both of those forks. When we got the report, it was about 7 feet or so on the South Fork, and within a matter of minutes it was up to 29 feet, and all of that converged at the Guadalupe, and that's where we saw those very quick rise in flood.
But listen, everybody got the forecast from the National Weather Service, right? You all got it. You're all in media.
No
You got that
blame on the
forecast.
Trump administration. No blame whatsoever on
He's
the
afraid to lose his job.
because he knows. I guarantee he knows, especially in Texas, that if he were to say anything negative about Donald Trump, I guarantee Texas would not get any help at all, at all.
Red
'Cause that's how
states
petty
get
he is.
screwed the worst always.
They
And they
haven't
love
realized
it.
it
They
yet.
lap it up.
They have not realized it yet, but they are so cooked.
Yeah, but so here's the
So
thing.
cooked.
That guy's upset at the National Weather Agency.
Mhm.
It's not the
That's
National
crazy.
Weather Agency that decided to turn its satellite off. That was given strict orders to not
Right.
disseminate any information on weather patterns to any news agencies and shut
Right.
down NOAA. Again, I know why he's not blaming Trump, because he's got to feed his family. Okay. And maybe that makes him complicit in some way. I'm not the person to determine that, but he's not blaming Trump because he needs his job. Okay.
Right.
But in reality, what he was saying was, hi, we need science. Could you science again, please?
Right. And Donald Trump is someone that doesn't know the difference between climate and weather. He thinks they are one and the same, which is crazy. Again, we're dealing with people that are literally nuts. But here's Christy Nome, cosplay Barbie here, pretty much blaming the previous administration and antiquated
We're 6
tech
months
and
in.
blah, blah,
Stop.
blah.
Also,
Right,
why
it-
didn't? Sorry.
Right. It worked fine.
Then
It
why
worked
didn't
fine.
Trump do it? So why? So you in 4 years it went from it's perfect for Trump 1, and it all degenerated under Biden, and now under Trump 2. After you cut everything, it's bad, but it's Biden's fault.
Right. Biden's still
Simple
to blame.
logic,
6
people.
months,
We're not
bro.
even talking complex thoughts.
Amazing, right?
Why was the National Weather Service not pinging our phones before 7 o'clock the day of 4th of July? We need the federal people to answer that maybe for us. I got updates at 7 o'clock. First one I heard. And I've heard updates throughout the week, but not before 7 o'clock in the morning. Wasn't that a fundamental failure of the federal government's responsibility to keep us safe?
Well, you know, my background is before I was in the secretary position here under the Trump administration, I was governor of South Dakota and served in Congress for 8 years before I was governor. And so I will tell you that for decades, for years, everybody knows that the weather is extremely difficult to predict, but also that the National Weather Service over the years at times has done well, and at times we have all wanted more time and more warning and more alerts and more
why bother?
notification. That is something, and
Go
one of the
fund
reasons
them.
that when President
Jesus
Trump
fuck.
took office, that he said he wanted to fix, and is currently upgrading the technology.
course he
And the
did.
National Weather Service has indicated that with
Is that in the big beautiful bill?
This is the same excuse they gave for the FAA. They want to update the technology.
Yeah.
This is the same exact excuse.
Wait.
Just rinse and repeat,
Okay,
man.
if this was so important and they knew this was happening, was there any mention of funding for NOAA and the National Weather Service in the big
No.
beautiful bill so that it could update its technology?
Jesus, no. You
Wow,
kidding me?
are MAGA people even capable of thinking that question to themselves?
Right.
Huh.
Or they'll privatize the weather, like all the reporting and stuff like that. We'll have to pay to get the weather reports.
Pendragon got it. They,
They
refused to fund education for multiple
This is what happened.
generations.
It's
Yes.
by design. It's by design.
They
A
want
capitalistic
stupid,
society will
controllable
only succeed.
workers.
Right. They will only succeed if they have a large dumbass population. Seriously. But like, how else do you explain the situation that we're in?
You tried this shit in Norway, and every person who has like a college reading level and understands like thermodynamics is like, you dumb. Like
Yeah.
there's populations that actually have a high fundamental education rate and would
Right.
be able to call out not just ignorance, but lies and manipulation. And if you at this point are taking pictures in front of Auschwitz, you're being manipulated because you are a stupid moron.
Yeah.
That's it. And when
the
your
the-
family gets swept away because you didn't know the storm was coming, because your president decided you didn't need to know that. You deserve it.
And
I
guess
know
what?
there are people now saying, you know, on the left, we can't damn people on the right for living in red states. I am not damning the people in red states that suffer. I am damning the maggots in red states that watch themselves suffer. I'm
Because they'll
not
be,
condemning good people. And if
bro,
you're a MAGA, you are not a good person. That's
no,
who I'm
God, no.
condemning.
And they'll be the first ones on social media to whine like, oh my God, I didn't think this was going to happen to me. I need help. No, go shove your head up your ass. You know what I mean? For real. Like, what are we even talking about here? Why would we help you? We will never help you. We will never forgive you. And we will damn sure never forget what you did to this country. So you need to realize, and I said this on my last episode on Thursday, this is when I knew I was getting myself in trouble, but we need to treat MAGAs. It's time. We need to treat them exactly how they treat marginalized communities. I'm being dead serious. If you see somebody with an alligator Alcatraz shirt on, you let them know how you feel about it to their face.
Send over a little bit of levity today. Well, a lady in Australia got her arm bitten off by a lion at the zoo. Don't feel bad, America. Dum-dums are everywhere. You are right. If you get hurt at a zoo when the animal is still in its enclosure, that's called natural selection. Thank you for that. I needed that joke.
Selection. Let's talk about July 4th and what was on Truth Social. I believe you have a couple ads that we can talk about. We're moving on to Donald Trump now.
So I wanted to see what Truth Social is like, and I settled on showing some ads when there were far more anti-Trump posts on Truth Social than I imagined. A lot of them are very much against Trump. And I guarantee you it's not lefties going on Truth Social to spend their time there. It's people who are realizing that they got. But anyway, these are the ads amongst many, but these are the two specific July 4th ads running on Truth Social right now. You don't have to download the app. If you go to truthsocial.com and start just scrolling through it, you're going to see these two ads. Buy one, get one free of ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, or whatever metabolaz. Basically, get all the horse dewormer you want for a disease you don't believe is real, but you think it's a conspiracy, but buy our pills.
Yeah, the president of the United States and former Congressman Matt Gaetz somehow got roped into this. Why is he in the ad for ivermectin?
He's not even anything anymore.
No, he's more of a Blue Chew ad or a Viagra ad kind of guy. But ivermectin is crazy. Yo, that's the president of the United States' social media app, and they're selling.
That's why
like that.
I suggest we set down a few terms that we need to start really trying to be steadfast in holding to. Okay. Number one, there is no more Republican Party. The grand old party is dead. It is the American Fascist Party. News agencies around the planet are now referring to Trump's party as the American Fascist Party. So I suggest we do. I refuse to call him president whatever. It's not two words I'm ever going to put together that way. So I suggest we just refer to him as Dictator Trump. And also, ICE is not an official thing that is doing any official work. There are unmasked people kidnapping brown people across this country, and they just got a budget greater than Russia's military. We should call them what they are. They are Trump's secret police.
Right. We can't send food or aid to Gaza. We can't help Ukraine with a couple billion in arms, but we can give Donald Trump basically a blank check.
See, MAGA would say, see, at least that's America first. We're spending money on making America great again.
Right. And people think I'm crazy, but they already set up a hotline so you can report people. What happens when they start throwing money around? Like, hey, put an ad on Truth Social. If you see an undocumented immigrant, call this number.
If you think I am going to narc
$1,000
on anyone,
seriously,
there's one type of human I will narc on. If I see anyone attack, denigrate, put their hands on anyone of color, anyone in the LGBT community, or anyone at all that isn't of their own stupid group of assholes, I will step in, I will call the police, I will do what I can. But I am not going to narc to a fascist government about the nice people that may or may not live down the street that literally have the most adorable kids. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to narc on the nice lady that knew my wife was sick and brought over a nice meal. I'm not going to narc on the people that get up when the sun gets up and goes to work when your lazy ass is still laying in bed, when you use all the benefits from the federal government that you say the brown people are using. I'm not narking on my neighbors. I'm not narking on the people that do work, that work their asses off to be in this country, to make their lives better for their family.
Right. Maggie, you kept saying they were coming here stealing our jobs and stuff. Well, guess what? There's a lot of farm jobs available for you, not us, because we don't want that shit. We didn't want that job in the first place. But you guys you thought they were jobs that were stolen from you, apparently.
But they were stealing jobs, but they were also coming here being murderers, drug dealers, and rapists. So which job do you want to have?
We are this close to having slaves in this country. Think I'm fucking around?
Everything we've said has come true so far.
Bro, Donald Trump is talking about how farmers take personal responsibility for their workers, as in ownership of them. This is not a joke anymore. This is not a drill. This is not us just
because if they're here illegally,
this is serious.
If they're here illegally, he can't possibly mean to make sure they have the best benefit package to be working on that farm. He can't mean that they get minimum wage. And you know why I know that he doesn't mean that? Because if you are hiring people who are illegal, aren't you a criminal? But they don't go after them. No. Instead, someone got to Poppy Trump and said, you can't take the people off the farms. And he made an announcement, a nice video where he said, we're not going to go after the farm workers. They're skilled people. We need the farm workers. So are you going after the illegals that are taking our jobs or not?
Right. Remember what happened? He changed his mind after nobody showed up to his birthday party and he got pissy and moany, and then he decided to go after farm workers again. Now he's talking about, like, I just have this vision of people being bust. I have a horrible vision for what's going to happen in Alligator Alcatraz. I think a lot of people are going to die and we're never even going to know about it. It's very remote. I mean, it's inhumane. Just that part of Florida, they are going to be eaten alive by not just alligators and shit, but insects, bro.
Yes, he is just saying.
That's crazy. Oh, he's going to do it. Yeah, he's going to do it. That's why they're building a database. They're going to be the thought police. They're going to be the thought police. Every thought that you post on True Social or whatever platform, Facebook, Instagram, I guarantee it, because he's on board with all that shit too, Zuckerberg. You know what I'm saying? So they're literally going to look at everything using artificial intelligence to watch what you say, watch what you do, and try and predict your behavior. I feel like a nut job saying this, but this is actually their plan. This is stuff they are saying that they are going to do. Like, this is not me saying, oh my God, Palantir is this evil corporation, blah, blah, blah. No, they said basically we're an evil corporation who's going to take all your shit and monitor you in real time. They want you to wear wearables. RFK Jr. is talking about putting like a watch or a band or something on people to be able to monitor their health, which of course we all know is like GPS location will be available.
We also know that would be monitoring women's cycles.
Right. Microphones would be on it. They have suggested putting ankle monitors and GPS locators onto people that are here in this country legally, so they know where they're at all times. Like, America has turned into a giant prison.
I've seen that movie. It ends up with people getting blown up.
Right. And again, I wish we were just two crazy guys making this shit up just for fun, but we're not. We're reporting what's happening, and we don't like to sugarcoat things. And I think that's where other larger networks fall short, is they just don't call it what it is. Some of them are starting to, but like, call it what it is. You know what I mean? It's time. But anyway, let's go to Donald Trump. This is the shit. First, this is what he was doing while people were drowning in Texas, right here. And I would like to point out that every Republican behind him shows us their favorite thumb to stick up Donald Trump's ass. He has not read it. He doesn't know what's in it. All he cares about, and all JD Vance cares about, all these Nazis care about, is the ICE budget. JD Vance posted about it. He said, doesn't matter if Medicaid cuts. All that matters is securing our borders.
Because America's original sin will never go away. We are racist. and we are built on slavery. We are built on the idea that there are people lesser than white people that we could take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what they use to justify that? Their religion, history,
That's the sick part.
fake science, all bullshit that says white men are the dominant species on this planet.
Yeah.
You are not the dominant thing on this planet.
Yeah,
By
I've seen
any
your
stretch
social
of the
media
imagination.
profiles. You are definitely not special.
You are not. You're not.
Y'all are crazy.
Speaking as two white dudes, you're not special.
Yeah. No, that's the part that kills me. Like, your life is shit. Yes, it sucks. Okay, great. Probably based on the decisions that you've made throughout your life. But for some reason, it gives you some kind of comfort to think that you're somehow superior to others because of the color that you were born. What is wrong with y'all? Like, seriously, this doesn't make any sense. But all right, let's go to Donald Trump on 4th of July, disgracing what was a sacred holiday, the day we separated from the king, and he signed a piece of paper basically saying, I am the king. Okay, so before we're going to get to the Nazi stuff here in a second, I promise you, we got 15 minutes to go, but I wanted to show you a couple clips here. Here he is talking out his ass, saying that all these world leaders came to him and said, sir,
Did they?
Sir, a year ago, the country was dead, and now it's just fantabulous because you're here. Like, it's so stupid. People believe this.
And they told me very strongly, the leaders of a big part of the world, very respected people all, they told me that, 1 year ago, your country was dead. And now
Daddy.
you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So that's the way it is, and that's the way we like it. And it's only going to get hotter. That's promise hilarious. You that. After that,
it's only going to get hotter, guys.
Display of American power, let me just say that God bless the United States military, and God bless the USA. God bless the USA. And to all Americans, I want to wish you a very happy Independence Day. Happy.
I can't watch it anymore. I'm sorry. The guy makes me sick to my stomach. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Get that guy a teleprompter. He can't even read off that piece of paper.
I know, right? He has a hard time reading off teleprompter. His health is getting bad. There's definitely something going on there that we're not being told. But here's just one more clip, and then we'll get to the hand signal or gesture or wave, or whatever you want to call it. We're going to show you the video, and you can determine yourself. But we're going to compare it to two other salutes as well, just so we're all on the same page. But here he is talking about the big, beautiful bill and winning the election. And he won all set. Like, it's been 6 months. This is almost as bad as blaming Biden for everything. He's still talking about how his big win and I won all 7 and
he's also talking about how if the election wasn't rigged, he wouldn't have won. He keeps saying that.
Yeah, that came out of his mouth a few times. But here's this one.
One big, beautiful bill, and that's what we did. And what we've done is put everything into one bill. It's never happened before. It's the biggest bill of its type in history. We've never had anything like that before. Nothing like that they thought would be possible to get passed. And actually, I liked it because we had so much in there that no matter who you are, there was something in that bill that would make your congressman or your senator or your congresswoman, much more importantly, raise their hand and support. Right, Lisa? So it was something, and it was really something special. So the American people gave us a historic mandate in November. We won everything. We won the swing states, all 7 swing states. We won every one. That rarely happens. We won the popular vote. We won the districts, 2,750 to 5.
Still talking about the election. That's crazy. That's crazy. But he called out Lisa Murkowski by name. Remember, she was the one. She's the Alaska lady, right?
Yep.
Who sold everybody out because they gave her a little.
You know what's funny?
And she looked terrified. She looked terrified. The fact that he calls her out by name there is
such a pack of jackals, because that's what they all do. They're all just grifters, so they all hold out till they get a package that makes them happy. She did nothing that every other Republican does, that Donald Trump doesn't do, but she held on a little bit longer. She was actually smart enough to hold on a little bit longer to get something for her state. Like, they're all just shitty grifters that turn on each other when they don't fall in the party line. It's not that hard to see.
This video is the one that we originally found, JD Vance This was while on the campaign trail. This was the video we've shown lots of times, and this is also the video that nobody else showed that we sent to. We tried to make this go viral. It did not. Probably could have prevented a lot of headaches had we seen this on the national news. But here is J.D. Vance, the current vice president, on the receiving end of a Nazi salute. Very
that
obvious.
He recognizes and embraces.
Right. He jumps to the guy, shakes his hand, and they're laughing and smiling like they're good buddies. And there's a second time. Let's slow it down. But there he shakes Vance's hand. There it goes. That is a very obvious. That is not a hi, how are you doing kind of
throwing
wave.
his heart out to him.
Right. He's not. That's not a Roman salute. That is the VP taking a very obvious Hitler salute. Okay. So then we have the big one, Elon Musk throwing his heart out to the crowd. Right.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Okay. So we're setting the stakes here. So here's the big one, you guys. Here's the big one. This is Donald Trump at the White House, again, with Melania. And I believe it was later in the day. Okay. He does it twice. The first one looks like, well, maybe, but the second one is the one I want you to focus on. And I played it twice and I slowed it down the second time. So we could talk about it afterwards. All right. So Melania, it looks like she's being held hostage. There's the first one. No big deal. Second one. Boom. That's it. First one.
The first
like
one
a wave.
does look like a wave.
Second one.
I'm just saying,
look,
you can't put your hand like that. You
Bruh.
have to know. Now, look, I'm not going to put all my coins behind that. I'm not. But what I am going to say is a president of the United States, especially this one, even though he's a gelatin head, has to know that you can't do that unless you're like, who cares if I do that? They'll love me for it. That's all I'm saying. So whether he's like, yay, I'm doing this, or it's accidental, the president of the United States on Independence Day cannot stand there in front of a cheering crowd and do that.
All right. Second one, dude. All right. So what happens in the video, if you watch the original video, he does the first one. It looks like to me he's just kind of testing the waters. The second one, I'm sorry, that is intentional. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna play it again. Okay. We can talk about it while it plays. The first one is, I think, him testing the waters. What happens is the people cheer. Then he throws the obvious second one. Okay. Very intentional. That is not a wave, y'all. That is a
watch this. If I
salute.
was a president that understood that one of my top advisors was on my campaign trail giving an actual Nazi salute, if I was there, him right now, this is what I would do. I love you, America.
Right.
Thank you. Not.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I'll pause it right there, guys. That to me
it's not that
is
complicated, guys.
It's the same thing Elon did.
And look, I know Mac is going to do the we could freeze
salute.
frame. Mac is going to say we could freeze frame any Democrat doing the same thing. And the answer is no, you can't, because when you watch it, almost every time the video is hyper chosen at what moment to pause it.
All right.
This is a different context. Come on.
People need to understand that they're using coded the 88 numbers everywhere. Okay. People need to understand that you're using coded language. The flagpole on the White House lawn is 88 feet tall. Okay. Donald Trump refers to the number 88 over and over and over again. Okay. It is right in our faces. We need to accept the fact that this is what we're dealing with.
Yes, Pendragon. Okay? That's my point. The way it's focused down, straight down.
Right. And maybe I overanalyze things. Actually, I know I do. But that's why I think that we're as good as we are on this show. Okay. We do get things wrong, but we've called a lot of this shit straight out. Okay. The Nazi gesture, the Nazi salute is first hand to the chest out. Okay. That is very important, that movement. But instead of putting his hand to his chest, he puts his hands to his mouth. It's the same salute in his own little way, trying to sneak it in. Okay. But that second one, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm calling it. I don't give a shit. We're on a list already as it is. So
I don't even care if it is or isn't. And I'll tell you why. it's too late. They're openly fascist. The playbook of Project 2025 is the big, beautiful bill, and they're chasing down brown people. And now that people have been pushing back in the streets, they have a budget larger than the Russian military. What do you think they're going to do with it? Handshake people? They're going to pay to make origami cranes and hand them out to protesters? No, you're going to see tanks and militarized squads in our streets hunting down brown people. And if you get in the way, it doesn't matter what color you are, they are going to shoot you dead in the street.
All right, but here's the problem we're also talking about. We're talking about people that are barely trained, that have not been to any type of academy or school to learn how to properly do immigration and customs enforcement and follow the law. They are making this shit up as they go. They're going to deputize random people, loyalists to Donald Trump, Nazis, Klan members, pretty much every bigot in this country that has an itchy trigger finger and thinks he wants to kill people. That's who's going to be ICE, guys. That's who's going to be ICE. Why do you think they cover their faces? Because they take those masks off and they're probably your next door neighbor. Oh, and I also heard a funny story that ICE agents at least the dudes are having trouble getting laid because working for ICE is a bit of a red flag. I hate to tell you this, guys, but if you're lonely now, oh boy, I guarantee you most women, I mean, at least any woman with any self-respect would not date a Trump supporter. Okay. You got to be a person to want to date a MAGA dude, because they're gross. And the way they think and talk about women. Go into a Call of Duty lobby once.
Yo.
You want to see? No, I'm serious.
I know, I'm aware.
Bigoted. See, that's why I think I understand why we're in the situation we're in, because I'm in COD lobbies. You know what I mean? I'm on social media. I'm in TikTok. I'm in Facebook trolling these people. I see their comments. I hear the things they say. Dude, they will drop the N-word in a COD lobby like it's nothing.
I gotta find a list.
Get the kitchen. It's fucking crazy.
There's a couple of women that are amazing at Call of Duty. Like,
I follow a bunch.
On Another Planet. I know you do. I just want to tell other people that I should probably put a list up, or we should try and get them on the show or something.
I would love that.
They post content of embarrassing these misogynist ladies that these guys try. They say the most horrific, despicable things you have ever heard, stuff you've never heard before. And these women are just like, you have 1 kill and I have 400 kills. And they're playing like one-on-one. They're just destroying them and then just shitting on them. And then these little man babies always run away and quit. Always.
I actually prefer playing with women on COD, to be honest with you, because every time they kill somebody, they'd be like, you got killed by a girl, bitch. Thank you, Jeanette.
Oh, this is a good point. Tourism industry in the US is completely decimated. Like I read something yesterday that said European tourists are booking their trips to Canada instead of the US this year.
Yeah. America has lost, I believe our next episode next Sunday, I think we got a good one. We're going to talk about what exactly is democratic socialism. Mike has come to the conclusion that it's just capitalism with a conscience, with some compassion. It is possible, believe it or not. But that's also a good topic that we could talk about next week as well. So thank you, guys. That's all I have for today, guys.
A lighter one.
Yeah, it's nice. Actually, I feel almost better now because
I don't want to go
Friday. Friday, I was on here screaming. Because how dare you sign the Declaration? And people are out there celebrating. Like, they think, and one person, I member of Congress I can't remember her name, was like, yeah, celebrate the troops. Like, that's not what Independence Day is about. That's not what Independence Day is about. Like, we just handed the country over to a king, a clown king, on Independence Day. I don't think people like the symbolism there for me was heartbreaking. Like watching democracy die on Independence Day is insane to me. And I don't understand why more people aren't making a big deal.
I have to say one thing to this comment. 100% old COD lobbies were wild. Let me tell you, me and my best friends started playing Call of Duty on Call of Duty 3. It was a World War II one on it might have been one of the early games on the Xbox 360 when it first came out. I'm not proud of some of the things I said on there, but they were always to kids who were just assholes. But I will tell you, some of those lobbies would make me blush. They were like, what is being said on these things?
Right.
And back then, I think there were less girls and women in gaming than there are now. So I don't remember being aware of the misogyny, but it was a toxic environment with
it still is.
homoeroticism and it was just a cesspool. Now it's just let's trash on the women because women don't belong playing video games.
Right? That shit's crazy. Oh, and then these people they'll put like MAGA or Trump in their clan
In their
tag for Call of Duty. It's like, dude, y'all are so pathetic. But again, we're the ones that have a problem. We have derangement syndrome. She says
usually we do run long, so we apologize.
Yeah, this was a good, but this was good. I thought I was gonna
come on. I'm sorry, Sandor. It's not I didn't
You're just gonna leave.
Thank you, Nova. Thank you. Well,
there are some good developments coming. Yeah, I guess we could talk about this. Well, James and I will be on tomorrow, but then Mike, James, and I on Tuesday, instead of doing a show, we're going to be on the Sons of Liberty podcast again. So set your reminders for that. That'll be James's first time on there too. So that'll be a lot of fun. And what else? We got July 17th, as far as I know, is still the next big protest. We still have a live stream planned in DC. I promised to go to DC. I committed to it. I thought it was going to be on the 4th of July. I feel like we failed on that one. I feel like I really missed an opportunity, but a lot of people really didn't.
I assume the only reason they didn't do it on the July 4th is because whether or not you're quote celebrating, it is still a holiday where people want to spend with their families. And I feel like a low turnout.
Yeah.
We have to be careful with this movement in the sense that we have to let people know how big it is and how much it's growing, and any perceived cutoff could destroy us. So it wouldn't have been an accurate representation of what people are feeling. And now, right now, specifically what's gone on this week and during July 4th, you're going to see some showing up. Some showing up is going to be happening on the 17th.
Right. So again, I'll be live streaming the whole thing. I'll be at DC, wherever the protest is going to be, but I'm going back to the state capitol. I understand the risks. I understand that I could get thrown in jail for just being out there protesting against this fascist regime, especially now with the ICE having basically damn near an unlimited budget, for crying out loud, for what they need to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you guys want to donate to that, though, if you guys want to help us with the cost of travel or live stream and all that stuff, I would like to stay the night in DC. We do have a GoFundMe set up. The link tree for that is in the description of the video. It's also on our channel page, depending on what you're watching. And you can donate. The GoFundMe link on the top is there to do that. But yeah, again, we understand the risk. We understand what we're doing. We know what we're doing. But I'm willing to put it all out there. I think our country's worth it. I think it's worth saving. And I think we're seeing the last dying breath of this white supremacy bullshit movement around the world. This is their last opportunity to seize power and take control. And so far, they are failing at an epic level, while simultaneously screwing over their own constituents that undying support. You know what I mean? So they're the ones being shit on the most. So a lot of things are going to happen once MAGA's slow, because obviously it's going to be a slow process. I mean, it is MAGA we're talking about here. They're slowly going to realize it. Well, one day what's going to happen is they're going to go pick up their medicine and realize, oh shit, I don't have Medicaid anymore. Or they're going to get a letter in the mail saying, hey, you're cut off from food stamps. Yeah, you're supposed to get food stamps on the 7th this month. And then you get the letter on the 5th saying there is no more food stamps. That's what's going to happen. And that's when MAGA, the violent ones, at least on social media.
People need to eat.
Yeah, when survival becomes a thing, because for some reason in a capitalist society, food is not a basic human right. Like the
gotta monetize everything.
That's what I'm saying.
Spaceballs was right. If they could sell canned air to all of us as we're suffocating, they'll do it.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, the canned farts, Donald Trump farts.
Does everyone not see the banner on the screen? I'm showing the show dates and times. Although this Tuesday will be earlier, Jeremy. Do you want to explain that? How to find it?
7 p.m. and it's just the Sons of Liberty. I think I did make a post about it on YouTube. Yeah.
John, we did cover this on an episode last week. Was this last Sunday that we specifically spoke about them?
It was one of those days.
Yeah. So I hate to be one of those people that does that, but if you want to look at some of our last lives, we do talk about this specifically.
Yeah, I think it was either last Tuesday.
I think it was last
Tuesday or
Sunday.
Could have
Tuesday?
been Sunday. I don't remember. It was one of the two.
Yeah,
Watch
but
both
it's
of them.
there. We talked about it a lot.
No, yeah, they are desperately trying to retain power, because if it does go to a vote, there's no way they're going to win. They got into power and then destroyed their entire base. Like, how does that even make sense? You know what I mean? But they want to subjugate us. They don't want to govern us. They want to subjugate us. You know what I mean? They want to control us. And Palantir, Mike or James and I'll be talking about tomorrow. They want to literally monitor everything we post, everything we say, everything we do. It's not a joke. Okay, this is real. And they're going to use artificial intelligence to do it. So who knows what the outcome will be? But Mike and I are probably already on a list. I'm sure they saw our social media, are like, oh shit, move these guys to the top of the list. Especially if they see my Facebook page. Holy shit! Oh,
hey,
yeah.
look.
I go hard on Facebook. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, I trash back hard on Facebook. I don't hold back, because that is,
and they bite the bait. They bite the bait.
I got over 1.1 million views on Facebook, and it's almost all MAGAs mad about the stuff I post. And they're literally, and I keep telling them, like, the more you post, I actually make money off of this. And they're like, fuck you. I'm like, okay, whatever, bro. All right, guys. Again, that's all we have for today. Again, if you want to donate, that would be fantastic. We would love you forever. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the videos with your friends. We appreciate all the interactions. I wish these 344 comments would actually show up post-show, but unfortunately, live comments don't transfer over to the post video.
So yeah, please take a look tomorrow and see if anyone's posted and interact with them. You know, we're trying to build a community. You are our community, so we just want it to grow. And the best way to do that is community engagement. We're trying, you know, one of the things about YouTube, it is a social media platform, just doesn't look like one. So commenting helps. It really does. We should actually try and post more just posts on there, but we're terrible with that.
Right? We need help at this point. We pretty much outgrown.
We should try and post more on Blue Sky. Maybe that's growing over there. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, like we would love to do more, like on location stuff. Get better. I'd love to have a camera person help me with the camera, so I'm not on camera. You know what I mean? It's hard to stream and get everything and narrate while you're not even in the frame. So it'd be nice to have somebody to help with that. We need clippers. We need not narrators, but what do they call moderators? We get some amazing comments from MAGA sometimes. Farina does a fantastic job at moderating, but no, if you guys want to help, unfortunately, this is more of a passion project at the moment, but we are getting close to being able to make this into something bigger. We want to start a company, make it an organization called the VOR Media Group. Like we have big plans for what we're doing. It's not just going to be us two on a computer all the time and going to the occasional protest. Like we have a lot of plans. So yeah, you guys have been with us, some of you from the beginning.
Sandor, really I wish we could. Trust me, I wish we could.
I know. I would actually offer people money to be the camera person for the day if that was possible. You know what I'm saying? So,
thanks,
yeah, we'll figure it out. I would love to take my son, but at the same time, I'm very protective. While I want him to experience this, at the same time, I don't want him to be in danger. And if shit goes down, I don't want to worry about what his safety and and everything that's going on. You know what I'm saying? I want him just to be safe. I don't want to put him in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? Like this shit terrifies me. Because
Harrisburg, yes. DC, not sure.
Right, DC is a little more sketchy because you never know what the hell's going to happen in DC right now. It's slowly turning into a militarized city. I believe that's the goal. So anyway, that's all we have for today. Tomorrow will be James will be on, and then again Tuesday. I'll put in the description tomorrow the YouTube channel for the Sons of Liberty if you haven't already.
I'll make some. I know I just said we don't use social media enough, but I will make a bunch of posts on Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll try and spread the word on that, and we'll try and get better at that.
Yeah. Oh, I'll also it's not just our GoFundMe, but if you guys want to follow us on social media, we have Blue Sky, all our Instagram stuff, TikTok's on there.
We need to get better. It looks like Blue Sky might actually be something worth putting time into. We'll figure that out.
Yeah, they have a video app too.
And of course, we do need more time to be able to make clips so we could just post them on the channel after the lives. But yeah, we just need more time.
We're getting there. We're close. We're close. I'm telling you guys, we're close. We're close to doing something special here. So next month, actually, the rest of this month and next month is going to be pretty big. I got some plans. But yeah, I'm definitely going to DC on the 17th for sure, 100%. So yeah, other than that, have a good rest of your day. Love you guys, and like always, we'll talk to you soon.